We also, just recently, I signed a contract with the King County Library, who's doing a new reading program starting in the summer. And it was, timing is everything. I had just said to some of my staff, why don't we do this summer a walk around the block and make it like a treasure hunt? And in walks Irene with this great program that was very similar to what I had just suggested. So soon, in a couple of months, we'll have a huge picture of Houdini hanging on the outside of the senior center. And I was limited to what I could pack because she had gone to other places and they picked things that I would have chosen. But in hindsight, I thought Houdini's perfect. One, it fits the generation of the people that we serve. I'm sure there's a magician somewhere in the valley, somebody who can do something, and bring that program in and get people reading some more, using our library some more, setting up some activities for them. The center is in great shape. We have talked about new programs. Some of the things I would like to see happen are powerful tools for caregivers. A year and a half ago, I have nods of the head, we know the program. Great. I usually have to explain it all the time. It is nationally recognized, it is across the United States and is catching on. In fact, it's gotten so big that they became a nonprofit organization, and now they are set up as powerful tools for caregivers. The premise of it, it meets for 1.5 hours, 1 day a week, for 6 weeks, and it is for caregivers who are not paid. I have trained people who are paid, and they do get a lot out of it, but it really is for the person who's caring for a loved one, perhaps a wife, a husband, Parkinson's, MS, cancer, dementia, Alzheimer's, and typically women are nurturers by nature. Typically we take on more and more. Typically we presume that's our job. And typically, as we become a caregiver and do all of this, we're making no time for ourselves. And that's how this program got started, because statistics will show that many people who are caregivers will succumb or get a serious medical problem themselves because they spent all this energy and time caring for a loved one. So the Powerful Tools for Caregiver class really teaches you how to communicate, to express your needs, to make that time for you. And I think that we have secured some financial aid to support this program as well. So I'm happy about that. And I already have 4 people who want to take the class.
Wow, great.
Yes, so I'm happy about that. Amber is my partner in crime who teaches the class with me. And back in April, she and I became master trainers. So if anyone out there feels that they want to facilitate the class, she and I can train you on how to do that. So if you have questions about that, let me know. The other thing at the center is we just did a survey, and it came back typical. We want more card games, we want puzzles, we want more trips to go. I'll sign up for this one. Reno, Alaska. Okay, yeah. I'm thinking Istanbul.
Way out.
I think big. So they're pretty typical, and they're great. And if that's what they want, that's what we're going to have. And sometimes I like to think that sometimes they don't know what they want. And so I'm going to propose Mother's Day tea, Mother's Day, a dad's bash for Father's Day. There's a lot of men out there whose sons may not live, or daughters in the area they haven't seen for a while. They're still a dad. Come on down, we're going to have a party for you. I also go with, on the website with the national organization, what is it, Sal? NCOA, National Council on Aging. And they have just now partnered with Bank of America, and they created trainings. One of them is called the Savvy Senior, and it's all on financial, all planning that budget, working it out. I haven't read everything yet, but I did peruse the PowerPoints that they had. And I was sharing this with Mara yesterday, and I looked at one of them, and so it showed the income of this elderly woman who's on Social Security Medicare is $1,275. And then over here were her expenses for rent, her gas, her lights. And of course, it was $1,275. And I'm looking at that and going, excuse me, quality of life? Where is, I can go to the movies once a month? Where is that new blouse that's on sale that I'd like to buy? And my shoes I've worn for 10 years. I think I'll do a new pair of shoes. So it needs a little tweaking, but I want to offer that class. The other one is scamming. Many seniors across the country, I see the heads nodding, you know this, they're being scammed, either on the internet or still on that phone. You get the call, you get sucked in. Hi, Grandma, do you remember who this is? And Grandma's quickly trying to, oh yeah, I know that voice. Oh yes, Johnny, hi Johnny! It's a scam. There's, NCLA has put together a training outline for that as well. I think that's important in our community. I think our seniors need to know that. There's a plethora of ideas, but what I really want to bullet at this point is we do transportation. I rode the bus for the first time just to see how that worked, and it was great. And I forgot that I am a senior, so they owe me money. I paid the 50 cents one way, and then I paid it again, and I realized, oh, I only had to pay 25 cents, not 50. So I'll be turning that check in pretty soon. We have a great team. It doesn't work smoothly all the time. I know there's some issues out there that we're all working on. We're tightening it up. And I've told them all my 3 things for transportation are not necessarily in this order: customer service, safety, and risk management. If it looks like it's going to be an accident, if you think it will be an accident, if it even sneakingly appears to be, let's solve it before it happens. We too could not function without our volunteers. I am just totally amazed at the commitment, the time, the responsibilities that they all take on at the center. And this morning I just got some paperwork in on for the end of the month. And we were closed a week and a half in December, but we had 22 volunteers who do nothing but reception and work in the kitchen, who put in almost 450 hours of volunteer time. That's pretty good for 3.5 weeks. So, and that's just reception and kitchen. That doesn't count our thrift store. These women are so committed, to the point where I hear all their stories, and so everything now is under construction. I'm redoing our newsletter, and testimonials from the volunteers is going to be a section. I think it'll market well, promote well, get people interested, and maybe call up and volunteer. And I also don't have a problem referring people. If Mara needs more volunteers, I'd send them down to Carnation. And I'm sure she'd send them up to North Bend. But if somebody else in the room needs some volunteers, and we've got somebody who fits the bill, meet your match, I don't have a problem referring them as well. Because we can get overwhelmed with how many receptionists we have. Because they're all committed. There'll be some more stuff, new changes coming up. It's exciting, I love it, and it's challenging, and that's good for me, because that's when I can really put my thinking cap on. I was at Kiwanis this morning for one of those early breakfast things at 7 o'clock, dark 30, it's like, oh my gosh. But it was great, and I basically did the same thing I just did here, and got some good response from them as well, and I learned a lot about Kiwanis. And one of the things they do is they come to our center every Veterans Day and do a lunch. And that was just awesome to me that that many people took the time to do that. So that was good. And it brings people in. They were shocked that you could be 55 and come to a senior center. Yeah. Driving. If you're 55 and older, we have a guy who does a driving class. 3 men at Kiwanis want to sign up for it. Okay? It's great. Thank you. Yes.
Would you guys just mention a little bit about your reincarnation and your thrift store real quick, and then we'll open up for questions?
So we both have thrift stores, and Ruth Tomasoff, who is ours, opened. Mount Size has been open for a long time, and ours has been open for about 2 years now. And Ruth, the former director at Mount Si, was really helpful to us in giving us advice and guidance when we opened ours. But in the mid-70s was when a whole flush of funding became available for senior programming, and that's when a lot of senior centers, you'll see their founding date is in the mid-70s. And lately, that funding has sort of been going away a little bit year by year. And so all of your senior centers, whether they're run through the city or not-for-profits like both of ours are seeking other sources of revenue now so we can continue to serve seniors. And thrift stores have been great for both of us. They're both all volunteer run, and members of the community donate very generously goods. And we have volunteers who operate it every day, and it's become a huge line item in our budget. We've also opened an eBay store because we receive such generous donations. We have these, antique and vintage and high value items that come in, and we know that while our thrift store is great, we just don't get the kind of specific traffic that would net the most dollars for that donation. So we have an eBay store. The address is in our newsletter, but you can probably just find it if you Google on eBay Reincarnation Thrift Store. And we have some really cool items on that. We ship something as far away to Japan. So it's amazing. So that's been great for us in terms of fundraising.
I could have taken that to Japan for you.
Just stay for the shipping phone call.
Yeah, call me next time.
Yeah.
Our thrift store is, again, just fabulous. I am amazed at the quality and the quantity of merchandise that comes in there every day. Every day, even when we're closed. 4:30 in the afternoon, 2 people coming up on the steps, 4 bags, 2 in each hand. There we go, dump them down. Back to the car, 2 more bags, bring them up, dump them down. Okay. Volunteers come in like at 7:30 just to get everything sorted and put away before they open up at 9:30. $84,000, that's what our thrift store brought in. They work hard. It is a good chunk of money. I'd like to up that to $100,000, but I can't because our store is so small. And I'd like to be able to take furniture because a lot of people do come in and want to give us furniture. We have no place to store it. I mean, our store is filled with clothing, toys, houseware, household goods. And so I'm looking at some other options, see how we can do to take on some more stuff in there. And I know it's hard, and yours is even smaller than ours, and here I am complaining about our size. But we too, eBay also. We have a volunteer who takes the time to put it online and sell it.